So after like looking at the NI test results, we get to know all the professions and all the things we can pursue in our life. Right? So, sir, in an Indian household, we often face the problem that parents pressurize their children to like most of and 90% of my friends are pursuing JEE because their parents want them to, and not because they want. Most of them want to become a CA or a lawyer, but because their parents are forcing, they have to pursue JEE. So even after getting the results, how do we convince the parents to help us get into the fields that are emerging in the world?
So my here, I think we need to be cognizant of the fact that number one, they are your parents, and they have your future, your happiness at the center of their universe. Please appreciate it. If they are saying something, they're not your enemies. They're not thinking adverse for you. They're thinking well for you. They're well-meaning people. That basis has to be first established. That they're well-meaning people and whose universe has center that is you. If each one of you start with this point, you will have a positive starting point, positive connection to begin with. If you start with an adverse thought process, then the thought process can be a little more messy. So that's the beginning. The second thing is, most parents these days who are in the age group of 40 and 50, that kind of range, they're largely chilled out people. They're not as rigid as you perceive. So, second question is for you to work on the perception. The third is information asymmetry. What you know is not known to your parents. What your parents know is not known to you. So establish rules of conversation on the dinner table. Make logic your friend. This is not a subject matter that can be closed in one conversation. Please understand. It's a long drawn conversation, which means you will have to have this conversation spread over 8 months or 10 months or 1 year. Right? Therefore, immediately arises the question, are you starting well in time? Are you giving yourself sufficient time? If you are in 9, you are luckiest. Because then you have really good period to go forward. If you are in 12, you need to hurry. Right? So give yourself time. Build the rules of the conversation. Build logic into the conversation. Bring information. Do some solid research. Not research to suit to your argument. Sorry. I'm not recommending it. I'm recommending research which builds information asymmetry between you and your parents. Right? Next is showcase your interest by achievements. Just by saying that I am a singer, I am 50 plus years of age and my mother and my father refuses to believe that I am a singer. None of them actually believe me. I've been pleading that consider me a singer, but sorry. Petition dismissed, everything. Even now they are unwilling. Despite of all whatever I may have achieved in my life, but they give a damn to me. Because I have not been able to showcase a single achievement of mine which demonstrates my credentials as a singer. Sorry, not possible. Demonstrate through performance. Right? And then your school gives you sufficient opportunities to really have those achievements. You have an annual, you have a variety of competitions. Are you using them to build your credentials? You have a music teacher, are you working with them? You have, these days of course everyone has got a phone. Are you recording? Are you sending them for some competitions? Are you building a portfolio? And is your portfolio yielding something? And what your portfolio is yielding, are you presenting that logically, humbly, politely to your parents? It's a work in progress, my friend. It's not a question, you are not in a court where you argue and win or lose the case. That's not the correct perspective. The correct perspective is to present, this is what I feel, I have researched, these are the kind of careers, these are the kind of professions, these are the kind of companies, organizations that are recruiting. These are the kind of universities that are providing this kind of qualification for education. And then showcase your interest, showcase your performance, and I'm reasonably sure once you show that kind of passion, इतना भी tough not to figure जाएगा, पक्का होगा, 100%. But you got to work hard. It's not just about winning a verbal argument. If you are reducing it to a verbal argument, then you are only creating a tension. But if you are working with passion, building up your case, demonstrating your performance and argument and removing the information asymmetry, coming to the dinner table with proper arguments, proper information, proper research, then informing, then tell your dad on Friday evening, I'm forwarding you something on your WhatsApp. Will you please take a look at that tomorrow morning? Can we have, tomorrow is Saturday, can we have a conversation around it? That's the way you will engage in a meaningful conversation. You will set your father or your mother into a serious conversation. Otherwise, they think you are a cheerful. What do you know about it? I mean, they're tempted to ridicule you. What do you know about it? Why should I even listen to you? That's the ground on which they are standing. But to really crack that ground, you want to do your homework. And with humility. Please don't lose sight of the fact, beloved. Your success is the very life goal they live for. If you care to see that, you will find in each one of your parents, that's what you will see, unfailing. Are you seeing that is my question? Please see that, then build your case. You will see a miracle happening. Interpersonal, chemistry, logical, every which way, it will work to your advantage. Does it answer your question, Mike? Fantastic.
So my doubt was, what does high bodily kinesthetic intelligence mean? Say for example, take Yash. He has got 95 in that. So what can we tell about in bodily kinesthetic intelligence?
Yeah. Yash Sanjay.
Yash Sanjay, number 24.
So Yash is the kind of person who will, if he goes to a mall and if he has only 2,000 rupees, he is more likely to spend on sports gear, more likely to buy a good t-shirt or a sports wear that he can use on playground, rather than a jacket which he can use in a party. He's going to spend more money and more energy and more time around activities that demand physical work, that demand sporting activity. Right? I mean, just on a lighter note, I mean, if and when he gets his girlfriend, she's going to be impressed because of the sporting talent, not because of his musical talent. Right? So, but coming back to serious question, his aspiration has to be cultivated into sports. I mean, for example, firstly, if he has a particular sport that he wishes to capitalize on, he should take that up seriously. But beyond a sporting career, other careers like sport management, because he has got very, very strong fundamental interest in that, he's more likely to enjoy sporting related careers, sport finance, sport management, working in IPL, working in FIFA, working for Olympics Committee. That is the kind of that will go back to his other sports. So, for example, he has got 71 in visual expression. Fantastic. Very nice, because he will really enjoy how an arena, how a stadium is arranged. He's going to enjoy that. The visual setting of the stadium. Linguistic. He could actually make a good next Navjot Singh Sidhu. He would actually be that. Right? And then mathematical, oh gee. He's not going to enjoy that. Right? And then, of course, the bodily kinesthetic is super. Music. I mean, he doesn't need the earplugs to run. He actually runs without earplugs. Am I right, sir?
With the micro.
Yeah. And then interpersonal. Again, he doesn't need really friends to be happy. He's happy pretty much alone. And he's less likely to be a team sport person and more likely to be track and field and individual sports, whether it could be tennis, ball tennis, table tennis, squash, that kind of sport. I don't know what sport he plays, but he's more likely to be a solo player than part of a cricket team or a football team or a volleyball team or ... Right? And then I think sports is his ventilation. When he is sad, he plays to be happy. That's what relieves his individual stress.
It may be late to ask this now, but our musical and naturalist intelligence, what does it say about us and the career we are comfortable with?
What's a good name, my friend?
Priyanshi.
Shreyanshi, you got it?
Priyanshi.
What's the number?
23.
Priyanshi Vishwarma, you have 71 visual special, 71 linguistic, 86 logical mathematical, 81 bodily kinesthetic, 43 musical, 62 interpersonal, 67 interpersonal. Fantastic. You would actually make a very good LLM which connects all Indian languages, for instance. Something which will connect Kannada with Assamese, Assamese with Gujarati, Gujarati with Kashmiri, Kashmiri with Tamil, and Tamil with Malayalam, and Malayalam with Marathi, and so on and so forth. That's the kind of work you would enjoy, is my guess.
You're absolutely right. I do enjoy getting involved with new people, discovering them, their language, their culture. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, that's right. And you have a knack for that.
Couldn't agree more.
See, Priyanshi, one is a question of acquiring some knowledge. Above that, some skill. Above that, you become an expert of something. And above the expertise comes knack. When something becomes effortless, but you still have an effortless ability to make advanced moves in that field. For example, A.R. Rahman, he has a knack for music. He knows when he play a note, he knows where Rag Bhairavi, this is where he is going. This is Ahir Bhairav. That's the kind of intelligence, that's called knack. So you're likely to have knack in that direction. But if I can ask you to repeat your question one more time, the musical.
I was asking if the musical intelligence and naturalist intelligence scores have any meaning to the career we choose.
Yes and no. Yes, as I gave you one example of having met a kid with his mother, where he had very high scores in these two, and I ended up saying that, is your kid very good in recording or producing music of nature, music of air, water, rivers, insects? birds and so on, which happen to be correct. So in that sense, I know musicians who are experts of nature's music. Right. So in that sense, if you want to build a career in that direction, perhaps it can actually work a lot. But also let me tell you, I have no musical talent. I'm giving you a very personal example. I have no musical talent and I have never bothered to demonstrate my music talent at a public because I don't have the confidence to do so. But now is the top secret which I'm going to do. Without music, I feel empty, dry. Music is as essential to my life as salt is to my food. If I don't play some good tracks, some Sufi, some semi-classical, some classical tracks in the morning, my day can be spoiled. It's that essential to my success and nobody knows it. People see me as somebody, my colleagues, ask them, they will tell you how dry a person I am. Or in any faculty sport or whatever. But going out on a track can be a great stress buster. So in that sense, it can contribute to a person's success and therefore in turn contribute to your success. There can be a link in that sense. And some people can have, I know also some people whose mood is put off if you play music in their presence. I know that also. Who can be very upset and disturbed because of the music. Because their mind simply can't receive the sonic element. I'm not trying to be judgmental, please understand. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's a question of understanding what your mind and body receives and feels happy and doesn't receive and doesn't feel happy. It's a limited question of recognizing. It's not a question of something being great or not great, bad or good. No. I'm not into value judgment. My limited recommendation to all of you is to come alive and recognize this is what makes me happy and this seems to put me up. That much is sufficient. If you are alive to that, you are more likely to find right subjects to study, right combinations to study, and right work to do. So there is a very direct connection between that discovery, the choices, and the life you build for yourself.
I saw the career option, but also I'm to do engineering and mathematics. But it was not there, so that engineering or
What's your good name, my friend?
Sriraj.
Let me tell you, instead of doing science or engineering, Sriraj, you are more likely to enjoy being in the marketing department of an engineering company. So what does it mean? It means you study engineering and perhaps do an MBA and build a career around meeting people, where you explain science, explain engineering, explain the science behind a product, and therefore that becomes the secret sauce of your success. Because the way you communicate science and products, nobody else communicates. Right? So, doing engineering, don't abandon that. But my sense is discover yourself a little more. Do a couple of internships around marketing, around sales, around advertising, around social work, things which demand large mass connect and communication and travel and that kind of stuff. My sense is you will discover yourself slightly better, right? And then you will know how to strike a balance between being an engineer and being a business person. Maybe a business person who understands engineering. That's something you may enjoy eventually in your life. Yeah? I hope that that gives you some direction. That gives you some sense of appreciating your own competencies.
Should I give JE or not?
Little louder.
Should I give JE or not?
Why not? Why not? See, this session is not about giving you yeses and nos. It's about discovering yourself. So you should write. But see, as I said in the beginning, you discover yourself not by hearing somebody. You discover yourself by doing and experiencing. Once you experience, only then you will know how much you enjoyed writing daily. So don't follow anybody's advice. Follow your heart, do, and then discover. Discovery is about doing, my friend. Discovery is not about just hearing somebody's views. That's grossly suboptimal.
I wanted to ask about the interpersonal and intrapersonal scores. How do they affect our careers, especially if your career is based in or social media? Like, how can we do something to improve the scores, or how can we do something to understand the people and the way they think?
Sure. Thank you, Falguni, for your question. Our ability to deal with self and deal with others. Right now, you're a student, you're part of the class, so you have to deal with your friends. You live in a society, there are neighbors, you have to deal with them. You have teachers, you have other people in school, you have to deal with them. You have come here to deal with strangers. So human aspect is all over, right? The question is how comfortable you are and how to build that skill, how to build that muscle. So that's first part of the question Falguni asks. The second part of the question is how to deal with self. That's actually far more important. To me, 90% is knowing self, and based on that, you know how to deal with others. So there's an interconnection between the two. Now, knowing self, I would recommend the following. Because I am so much of time, I pretty much exhausted the time. Sure, so like 10 minutes or so. I'll try to be brief and try to give you a short and direct answer, Falguni. In order to know yourself, I would recommend the following. Number one, do some amount of breath work regularly. Breath is the most direct connection you can have with your body and with your mind. I strongly recommend, even for 5 minutes, do some amount of breath work. If you do that, you will see in 3 months' time, you will see some miraculous understanding, appreciation of your own mind, of your own body, of your own mood, of your own fluctuations, of your own temperament, of your own intelligences, of your own mood. On Sundays and on days I'm unhappy, nights I'm happy, on bright moon I'm happy, on dark moon I'm unhappy, and so on and so forth. You will have a lot more understanding about yourself. So first is breath work. Because if you just observe the breath, and if you're observing the breath, you will know how your body is reacting. If you just be mindful to that, a miracle can happen to you. Number one. It will give you a lot of presence of mind. You will be more present in your classes. Whatever is being taught, you will be able to receive. You will remember what are the homeworks you have to finish today. What are the submissions which are scheduled this week. You're more likely to remember all of that. So that's number one. Number two, be a little watchful of your food. What are you eating? Just watch, what are you eating? And remember, okay, I ate this, today I am slightly irritated. Yesterday I ate this, my body is feeling happy. Just watch. Just be mindful what you're eating, because eating is something you're consuming, and ultimately it's getting inside your system. And it is contributing to some amount of happiness or unhappiness, so be watchful of that. Number 3, your academic process. Whatever academic subjects are coming to you, if you have a choice, make those choices, learn, have the experiences, and then see what are the avenues where you can improve. Number 4, beyond the regular academics, build a strong reading regime. Pick up one newspaper, one magazine, one journal, and start building some additional reading. Because general awareness is important. Otherwise, you don't have the context. Right? If you do all of this, my sense is you're likely to be slightly better aware about yourself. Once you do that, your awareness about others, you have to ask why others are working with you. There is a class, there is a group work, therefore you are in a group. You are neighbor, so therefore the neighbor is pressing the bell. Understand why you are interacting with others, and like you are bother to know yourself, bother to know about others, how to communicate, how to understand, how to communicate, how to set the rules of the mutual cooperation, and how to manage the process, how to give due credit to others, how to be respectful to others. These are some of the fundamental skills if you care to acquire. You will see, you will develop the ability to work with others. You may not enjoy it, but you will not be unhappy either. But this is a muscle you want to build. It doesn't come to anyone naturally. Even to those who have superb interpersonal skills, let me tell you. For example, let's say Shayansh has got superb interpersonal skills. Let's say Prithvish, he has got superb, he enjoys working with others. But even for them, even for Ayush Pawar, even for him, even for Kunsh Bhagia, even for all of them, working with others is still a work. It's still a muscle to be developed. They enjoy. They have a mind which is naturally at ease while working with others. Vis-a-vis, let's say, Naitik Bhoi. Vis-a-vis Naitik, he would be slightly reticent. So for Naitik, it could be slightly more hard work. For Sharyans, it is less hard work. But nevertheless, it is a work for them. Both of them, despite of whatever scores they have got, both have to work to cultivate interpersonal skills. And the events like this are fantastic opportunities. You have got 3 days. Discover each other. What you didn't know while you were in the school. Discover that when you are tracking, when you are doing classwork, etc., etc. You will see a lot of miracles can happen.